Process is one of those songs that when Patrick came with the riff, it was like, yeah, it was such a groovy riff, and you could just feel like jumping when you heard it. And I was like, but it was a bit of different style, because we were more like trashier riffs before, or like shuggier riffs, and this was maybe a bit more modern, even, I don't know, but maybe if you think about it a little bit, Korn, Slipknot, more that kind of groovy riff. So but I really, really loved it, and I said, like, I remember we talked, and I felt like this can be the first single pretty early on. And but we had, at least I struggled a lot with the verse, because it was like slow, and I'm not a rapper or whatever. So, and I felt like when I was singing soft vocals there, it was like, I didn't feel it at all. So I struggled a lot to find anything to sing in the verse. And then I just thought to myself, okay, I'm gonna try to growl in the soft verse instead of doing soft vocals. And I felt that that suited the song much more. It gave it something more interesting than just doing nice harmonies and soft vocals. So that's how that came about. I was like, I need to do something different. And I don't remember if this was any of the, like in the beginning or in the more the end of the song writing process that I wrote the lyrics to. The process. Don't remember that actually right now, but for me, this song probably was more in the end, when I did have a struggle. You always have that towards the end of writing an album, when it's hard to find lyrics or hard to find ideas. And I mean, the struggle is a process itself. So I think that the lyric came a little bit out of that, and also having not a very good time at the moment. I think I was in not a very good place at the moment when I wrote this one. And I work a lot with the more yogic philosophy. So then it's like, I understand that every hard time is it's meant for me to learn something. I will grow stronger when I go through it. So it is a process. So that's how a little bit how that song came about.
Process was one of the last songs that we actually wrote for KALiYUGA, and I think we had a couple that were in the same kind of period, but that we worked on, and some that we didn't work all the way through with, so they are still alive somewhere. Maybe not. But with the process, it had this super cool hooky riff, and I remember Liv and Patrick was really into it, and I tried to see what it was first, actually, but then it grew to me when I started to loop it and practice it, see what I could bring out of it. And later on also Patrick had a few like melodies that I arranged later on for the backgrounds. And for me as a drummer, I had the inspiration for the verses was a lot of from Ray Luzier, the drummer for Korn, a fantastic drummer, and his way of orchestrating around the drum kits. I had this, I want to have something that kind of boil, or it is happening small things all the time, to make it groove and to make the whole passage groove. Later on, Jake came along and put this nice guitar harmonies over also that added to it, so maybe the drum parts wasn't needed. What do I know? But they are still cool, and I think also with the process, the breakdown, if we call it a breakdown, grew from my idea of having something that break the parts together apart from each other, and I choose to move the snare for every bar. So the first bar is on the fourth and then on 3, but the pattern is still the same. And then I added the scratches on, and that was also an idea from, I listened a lot to Slipknot during this kind of period when we wrote it, and I thought like, how can I incorporate that? So I took some samples and reworked them. So I think that was my idea of the process. I will also remember that I pushed Liv to extend the scream in the beginning. Yeah. It was otherwise I don't think that I had that much to do with either the guitar parts or the vocal parts, but the arrangement I think I had together with Patrick and Liv when we were jamming here in our studio rehearsal space. So I think that was my take on the process.